Hello everyone, welcome back to this series of Introduction to Commerce Cloud. And in this video, we'll be talking about rest of the search modules. In the last video, we talked about searchable attributes, search indexes, search index rebuild schedules, and the search index query testing, a tool which helps us understand how the search works on the server side, what kind of operations are involved, like cleaning of the keyword, synonyms, hypernyms, and all these operations are being done. And based on that, we are getting the response, be it the products or be it the content. Now, even before that, before all these processes start, what servers does is whatever keyword has been mentioned on the search bar, server actually tries to locate if there is any particular redirect configured for that keyword. It could be possible that in a real life scenario, it's possible that the client wants the customers to be able to search for any keyword here. So let's say they want to search for sale, and the moment they hit enter button, they should be able to land on a page with list of all the products which are on sale, which are being sold on a particular discount value should be listed. Now that can be done with the help of search driven redirects, and that can be configured under marginal search here, search driven redirects. The way it works is, so you can see we have multiple out of the box redirects here, and these are mapped to the target where it should have been redirected to. For instance, if the search word contains key as history, the action should be show content and the target would be the about us content asset. So the moment I enter history and hit the search button, you see this is the about us content asset that the customer lands on. And similarly, if we want the customer to be landing on any particular category landing page, we have to simply make the action as the show category, like here. If I search for what's new, so it takes me to the new arrival page. There's the CLP for the new arrival, and here you can see the list of all the newly added products. And configuring the search driven redirect is very simple. You have to just click on new. After that, select the locale for which you want to configure it, keyword that you want the user to be able to search for. Online, make sure that this redirect is in active state. Secure means the redirection is happening over HTTPS. Under the action, you see a list of different actions. You can take them to directly to the PDP or the category landing pages, content pages. We can specifically mention a particular URL on which we want the user to be redirected to. And any pipeline endpoint can also be configured here. Now, the moment you enter any keyword and hit search, the first thing that happens is it tries to locate if there is any search driven redirect. If it finds it, the user gets redirected to the target location that we have entered here. If not, then the same thing happens. It goes to the search dictionary and it tries to fetch all the information from the configured values, like if there is any Einstein Recommendations, synonym, hyponym, any compound words, common phrases, and all these operations which we saw as part of the search index query testing tool. Now, first thing we see under the search dictionary is the Einstein recommendation. Einstein recommendation is basically the Salesforce provided AI recommendation system, which keeps a track of customer behavior, customer journey on the storefront. It collects different kind of data related to the customer and the product, and it keeps feeding that data to the Einstein system, and based on that, it provides different kind of recommendations. So the way we can use it is, it is possible that we haven't configured any particular synonym or hypernym or the rest of the attributes that we are looking at right now for any specific keyword. And it is possible that the customers, a large portion of customers is searching for that particular keyword, but they are not able to find any particular response for that. So what Einstein will do is it will just keep tracking the user behavior, and based on that, it will tell us, okay, this is the keyword that your customers are searching for, but they are not able to find any particular thing. So better would be if we can just configure this as a synonym or hypernym or any kind of phrase if you want to have. So that is the use of Einstein in this case. Next thing that we're looking at is the synonym, and as the name suggests, that synonym is basically words. It allows us to configure different words that the user can search with. So it's quite possible that different users are trying to find the same product but using different keywords. So for instance, in the out of the box examples, we see that gloves and mittens both are synonyms, and it could be possible that different customers are looking for gloves with the name gloves and others are looking with the mittens keyword. So this allows us to configure different keywords which have the same name and which will be pointing to the same product with the help of synonyms. So for instance, if we just take an example here, if I go to search index query testing tool and if I search for glove, and I'll go with, I think the language is English United States. So you see there were multiple processes as we talked last. Phrase processor, cleansing and the product processor, then compound words, phrases. The next thing is the synonym hyponym, and the moment we enter glove, it fetches all the keywords that can be associated with gloves. So gloves, mittens, all these have been listed here, and based on that we are getting the response here. So you can see total of 5 hits we have, and all of them covers, like all of them have this keyword as gloves. But the moment I enter mittens, I should be seeing the same result. So again the total number of hits is 5, although all these items, none of them contains the keyword mitten, but still they are listed because we have a synonym configured here. So whatever keyword that the search has, server basically checks whether there is any particular synonym configured for that. If yes, it tries to find corresponding products based on that combination. And on similar terms but not exactly same, we have hypernyms. We'll talk about hypernyms, but before that, let's talk about. It's quite possible that we have configured different synonyms, but we don't want the user to be able to search for any particular. So okay, it's possible that we want the user to search for the same product with different keywords, but we want the results to be very restricted. So for instance, we have cameras, digital cameras, and it's possible that the customer is looking for camera and they search with a keyword camera. So what now we are trying to do is, whenever the customer is searching for camera, we only want to list just the cameras, not the digital cameras, because for that I have added this minus icon before that. And if you go here, and since we have made the change in the search index, we'll have synonyms. We have to make sure that the synonym index is being rebuilt. And the moment you search for camera here, you'll see this digital camera is now in red, and if you hover it will say red phrase or negative phrases. So products containing these words are excluded from the result. So previously what was happening was whenever we are searching for cameras, all sorts of cameras like normal cameras, digital cameras are being listed here. But the moment you hit like provide a negative synonym, what it does is it makes sure that the list of all the products based on the synonyms that you have configured, the red ones will not be part of that response. So since I think right now in the system all the cameras that we have are of type digital only, that's why I'm not seeing anything here. But had there been any normal camera, that would have listed. So I'll just revert the changes, and if I reindex and search for cameras again, now you can see there's a list of 27 items, and I think all of them have this digital camera keyword in them. So this is about synonyms. And if we go to hypernyms, hypernyms is basically, it can be considered as a broader term, and inside it there could be multiple subsets. So for instance, if we talk about pants, so pants could be considered as a broader term, inside which jeans and khakis could be considered as the hyponyms of this pants hypernym. Now what happens is, the moment you search for pants, if you go back to index query testing tool, here you can see since we don't have any synonym configured for pants, it goes to hypernym and it lists down, it fetches jeans and khakis from that, And based on this, it will be providing us with the response of, here you can see the total of 79 items are hit. So it's somewhat similar, you can say, to synonyms, but it's the meaning of hypernym would be a bit different, because in this we'll be talking about a generic term which is related, how it's related to the specific subsets of the same keyword. Like jeans could be considered as the hyponym of hypernym pants. So that's how it's related. Next thing that we have is the compound word. Now, compound word could be, it's quite possible that you have different kind of products and for which the customers may be looking out with different values. So for instance, here we have a value of digital camera, or let's say if I, it's also possible that, let's say I'm selling ice creams on my site and this is the compound where the customer is looking for. So I simply configure a value here. If I go search indexes, synonym index rebuild, and as a customer I search for ice cream here. Okay, we already have ice cream, but in default. Yeah, here you can see. So this complete word has been, since it's a part of a compound word configuration, it's divided into two different parts, ice and cream. Then the processor will start looking for products with this keyword or this keyword or a combination of both of them. So that is what the compound words is for. And there's one more module similar to compound words as common phrases. And common phrases could be considered, so it's also possible that end user is using the search text box as like how we use Google. So they could be entering like, I want a bag with color red, and some sort of a complete query they're trying to pass in that search box. So in that case, you can just simply provide a common phrase. It could be as simple as a bag in color red. So that is the kind of common phrase we can configure here. And based on this, it will start looking out for, now we have two different kind of match modes. So here you can specify, okay, if you want to have an exact match mode, that means the keyword, whatever the customer has entered, that will be considered for exact match. And if it matches with the common phrase, then it will be looked out in the database for that particular product and content. Other mode is the last word match. So whatever keyword that a customer has entered, that will be compared with the common phrase, and wherever there is a last word match, that particular information will be fetched from the database. So that is the two kind of match modes that we have here. In common phrase is a bit different from the compound words, only in a way that the configuration, how it's configured, that's the only difference they have. Apart from that, the way it's being processed, it's almost similar. There is results you can see in the search index query testing tool itself. The next section that we have is suggestion phrases. So usually the suggestion phrases will be part of the catalog or the content that we have, and based on that, whatever searchable attributes that we have defined there. So out of the box, Salesforce will build all those searchable attributes as indexes, and those could be considered as the search phrases. But it's quite possible that we don't have a particular keyword here. So for instance, right now if I search for denim, here you can see the list of all the products which have this keyword denim. Now this denim suggestions are coming directly from the catalog, but it's quite possible that we don't have any particular keyword in catalog and we want that to be suggested to the end customer. In that case, what you can do is simply create a new search suggestion, search phrase, and we can just specify the values over here. So that will be part of the suggestions that we get on the storefront. Usually it's part of the catalog itself, so we don't need to worry much about the search phrases, but in case we don't have any specific information about it, that can be configured. And similar to that, suggestion terms on blacklist, that means you don't want certain keywords to be listed in the suggestions. It could be any specific information which is you want only to be visible on any specific page like PDPs or content pages, but you don't want that to be listed as part of the suggestions. So that can be configured here. Next part is the stop word. So stop word is a combination of different filling words that a user may be entering, as we talked about that in the common phrase. If a customer is entering the complete query in the search text box, so in that case, these fillers could be avoided. So the way it works is whatever stop word that we are configuring, these words are not indexed because it will not have any significant impact on the search results. And if it's not indexed, that's a better way and optimized way for the server to index all the values, and it will be providing response optimally. So stop words are basically the fillers and irrelevant words that you expect that the customer may be entering in the search text box and that you don't want that to be indexed. Now, category name exclusion is basically so when you are entering any specific information here, let's say if I search for shirts, so on the left side I'm seeing the categories like dress, shirt, it's being listed as part of the suggestion. And if you don't want this information to be listed, any specific category that you don't want to be listed as part of the suggestions, that can be configured here. So just like this, it's type category name exclusion, and the values that you specify here will not be listed as part of the suggestion on search. Stemming exception. So basically stemming means linguistically, whenever we are entering any particular keyword, some linguistic operations are done on that keyword, and based on that it provides us with the response. So for instance, let's say we search for pants. So you can see the stemming processor has removed the S because it's plural that we are searching for, and the indexed values are just for the singular values. So the stemming processor basically does the linguistic operations, and based on that it feeds this keyword into the query. Now it's not always true that the stemming processing should happen, because for instance bed and bedding both are different. But if I search for bedding, it will simply, like, the search phrase will be shortened to bed, which is not quite right, because it could be possible that the site is selling only the beddings, not the beds. So in that case, what we can do is we can simply have an exception added. So the stemming exception will be of type bedding, and the stem, I also want it to be bedding only. The moment you save it, again rebuild the indexes. And now if I search for bedding, you'll see the exception has been added here. So the word remains the same, and the same word is being fed into the query. So there's about the stemming exception, and the last thing which remains is the keyword groups. Now, keyword grouping is basically used to, as such, a keyword grouping does not have that much of a significance, but it could be used to list down a product in a certain way. How we can do that is so for instance, if I want to have for entertainment, I want televisions to be listed. Of course, we'll just go with the English United States. So this is the keyword group that we have created, and the way we want the user to be able to see that is the moment they enter the televisions, they will be obviously landing on the television listing page, but on that particular listing page we want the sorting for that list of products to be in a certain way. So we simply go to the catalog, and the catalog, sorry, not the catalog, but sorting rules, we have to go. Under the sorting rules, we have a keyword search option. Here we'll be searching for English United States. And here you can see the keyword group that we have created here was entertainment. And for that, I want the sorting to be happening like price should be high to low, and I simply apply. Now, if you go back to storefront, okay, do one more thing, rebuild indexes. Now, if we go back to home page and we search for television here, here you can see the list of products here and the sorting, the normal default sorting rule, the way is the highest cost item is listed on the top. It's 15,000, and it's in decreasing order of price value of the items, so that we can control with the help of a keyword grouping that we have maintained here. And under the sorting, we can specify what should be the behavior for that particular group. So this is more about the search, indexes, query, attributes, driven redirect, stop words, exclusions, synonym, hypernym, common words and phrases, search suggestions. So these many, these all we have already covered. Now the next would be the sorting rules and storefront sorting options, search preferences. So these are the three modules which are remaining for search to complete. That we'll target in the next video. I hope this clarifies a bit about how search works and how we can configure these values. Although most of the tasks that we talked about are merchandising activities, but it may certainly help to understand how search works and what kind of operations are being performed by server on that. That's it for today's video. In case you guys have any questions or concerns, please reach out over sfcc.queries@gmail.com, or you can also post the comments on the video. Thank you.